Well, I'm finally making a video on Johnny Depp. I've been following the cases, the one that he has filed in Virginia, and the libel case in London. But I didn't really want to make any comments concerning it, jumping on a bandwagon, so to speak. But I, first of all, I want to say in the beginning, I just wasn't sure what was going on. Saw about the case, so I started listening to the audio, and there's lots of audio. The audio is online of him talking to his ex-wife Amber Heard, and she actually admitting to being abusive in the relationship, and he's always walking away and things are trying to get out of the way. So there's clear evidence that she was the abusive person in the relationship. It's kind so with him losing the libel case. By the way, the judge in that case has a conflict of interest because his son works for the the Sun newspaper, who is the subsidiary of the that gossip column that wrote the article about Johnny Depp being a wife beater. So there's a conflict of interest there already. So that judge should have never been able to try that case. But needless to say, that's how it was. And that same judge is also stating that, or denying Johnny Depp's appeal, which I think which seems to me to be illegal. You know? So, but I'm not a lawyer, nor do I know the law, much less British law. So, hopefully, that can be resolved. But I became a Johnny Depp supporter in this particular incident because of the audio. It's like watching a police officer beat a black man half to death on the side of the road, and he's walking or getting letting go. They release him, saying he's innocent after he's being tried. That's what this reminds me of. Just the injustice. You have the woman stating, yes, she abused him, and yes, nobody would believe him. you know, which is true. Society, I do foster care, and it comes up all the time. Women abuse men, more so men abuse women, but women do abuse men. And in every case, they say the stigma is that if a man were to say a woman abused him, nobody would believe him, or they would laugh in his face. And it's exactly what she said on audio to him. So go out and you listen to the tape yourself, and you'll see. But this is a clear indication of how MGTOW can be, that fuel can be added to the fire, the MGTOW movement. And it's things like this. It makes women look bad. It makes men feel insecure, against women, being afraid to even marry or interact with women. I myself tend to be very cautious around women, especially in close quarters. I try not to have myself placed in an uncompromising situation when it comes to women. Not because I've personally encountered things like that, but because of what I see, and I have so much to lose. I shouldn't say I don't have Johnny Depp level stuff to lose, but what I have to lose, if I lose it, I'm pretty much done. Johnny Depp could lose a house or two. He could lose half his fortune, and he will still be all right for the rest of his life and his next life. So, but I am grateful that Johnny Depp is fighting this and he's not giving up, because the consequences of this case, both cases, the one in Virginia and the libel case, is going to be far-reaching for men should he win this case. And I'm not against women, but it would be nice to see that women start realizing that they can't just do whatever they want and just get away with it just because they're women. But that does not mean that we should diminish the value of women because of things like this. Um, I didn't really know at the time he was married to Amber Heard. I didn't really know anything about her really until this case. I didn't even know she was the actress on Aquaman. So I'm not really a. Uh, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of either actor. They're either Amber Heard or Johnny Depp. Obviously, Johnny Depp is more famous than Amber Heard. From Edward Scissorhands, I think was the first movie I ever really saw him in when I was a kid, and then I mean he's not much older than me. I'm 45. He's like in his 50s. So I've seen quite a bit of movies. Obviously, Jack Sparrow and a couple other ones that I've seen him in. So I've seen him. I don't know the guy personally. I don't know his life. I didn't really know anything about him except that he plays in movies. But I am grateful that he is fighting this fight and is not giving up, despite the loss that he might have gotten or some of the backlash that he was getting earlier. I want to come on board and say I am a supporter. Not just because he's Johnny Depp or he's a celebrity, but what he's fighting for. The audio is the reason why I support Johnny Depp. There's no way anybody with any kind of intelligence can claim that he's wrong and she was right. So all the stuff that there's no way that you got her confessing to the crime. How much? What else is there? So it's either people are really dumb as fuck. Sorry for the offense, because I just got upset there. Or they have something to gain from all this, and I don't understand why men that's trying these cases or is siding with her or siding with the newspapers, even though they clearly lied it's about the man without any proof. There's no proof, and all the evidence that's been popping up, the proof seems most clearest proof is in that audio tape with her own voice saying, yes, I abuse you and nobody on the planet will believe you, is what she's saying. And this stuff is true. That's why a lot of times men don't report this stuff, and they end up killing their wives or doing whatever, just go leaving, and then now they're labeled as deadbeat dads and all this stuff. They don't want to put up with that crap. When women need to be held accountable too. Women need to hold themselves accountable and not just point blame. I'm not pointing blame on either one of these people, but it is clear from the audio. I don't care what any of the other evidence. She said she abused him with her own words. And she spoke in English, which I speak. That's my first and only language. So my bachelor's degree is in English literature. So I heard the words that came out of her mouth. And she clearly admitted to be abusing him. And she also stated that nobody would believe him. Now, MGTOW, this should not be used as fuel to add to the fire. We as men have to make our own decisions and own judgments. So, and decide if it's to stay in a relationship or move on. Hopefully Johnny Depp win this case, because I, as a man, fortunately I live in Maryland, and any property that I own, like real property, real estate, any woman I marry, she can't lay claim to any of those properties after marriage, because I already own them previous to the marriage. But anything going forward, well, then she could get half or whatever of that. So for my case, I know the laws or the things that I have of value to me. You guys need to know the laws in your state where you live or whatever part of the world you live, to protect yourselves in case your marriage doesn't work out, that you don't lose everything that you work hard for. And that goes for women too. If you work hard for stuff, make sure you know your shit. So, if things don't work out, you don't lose half of what you work 100% for. And that's the big thing. A lot of times men work 100% of the time for the things. And women, because they're married to them, tend to get half of the stuff that they put nothing into. Just by marriage, they're entitled. And that's evil in its own way. So yes, I do understand MGTOW. I have some videos on MGTOW and things like that, of those situations. But I also understand the value of women. I appreciate the value of a good relationship. And keep in mind, a woman who loves you will never present herself as a liability or an expense. They will always be an asset. It's the women that don't really care about you. They will always be a liability or an expense. They'll be leeches basically. So you can tell when a woman actually gives a shit about you, because they will never present themselves as a liability or an expense. They will always present themselves as partners if they're really in love with you or into you as a man. So keep those things in mind. If you'll have any questions, ask it in the comment section down below. Have a good day.